Hey everyone and welcome. I am so absolutely thrilled to be here with you today. I'm Lina, and in this explainer, we are going to celebrate some really fantastic milestones. If you're an A1 level learner, you have been working incredibly hard over the past 3 weeks, and it's time to just take a step back and marvel at how much ground you've actually covered. We aren't just reviewing grammar today, we're celebrating your growing ability to actually connect with people all around the world.
Here's a quick look at the roadmap for today. The journey begins, alphabet and numbers, pronouns and personal info, family ties and professions, routines and time, and finally, the final challenge. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The journey begins, tracking your learning path.
You know, when you first start learning English, it can feel a bit overwhelming, right? But learning a language is really just a journey of connection. You start with the most important subject, yourself, and gradually build the vocabulary to connect with the outer world. In week 2, you focused on the absolute basics, the alphabet, and numbers. By week 3, you expanded outward to your family and what people do for a living. And in week 4, you anchored yourself in the world by learning to talk about daily routines and telling time. It's a completely natural, step-by-step process.
To make these concepts feel less like a textbook and more like real life, we've got a wonderfully diverse cast of international friends joining us today. Because ultimately, language is about real conversations, right? They're going to help us see how all these words and rules are actually used in the real world. So, let's jump to alphabet and numbers, the building blocks of you.
Before you can tell a story or debate a topic, you have to be able to share your basic personal info. And that requires total mastery of your ABCs and numbers from 1 to 100. Imagine meeting a Canadian friend in a really noisy coffee shop. You tell them your name, but they can't quite catch it. Knowing the alphabet perfectly means you can just confidently spell your name out loud. It completely takes away the anxiety of introductions.
Now, what about those numbers? We've got an American friend here to help us dodge a super common phonetic trap. Let's take the number 14. In English, the numbers from 13 to 19 use this very distinct teen suffix.
But then, contrast that with the number 40. Notice the difference there? The T sound is what we use for our tens, from 20 all the way up to 90. Hearing them in a fast-paced conversation, it's so easy to mix them up. The secret code to cracking this acoustic challenge is all in the stress pattern. It's 14, where you stress the end, versus 40, where you stress the beginning. Nailing this down is absolutely crucial so you know exactly what date it is, or better yet, making sure you don't accidentally pay $40 for a $14 lunch.
Next up, pronouns and personal info, making conversation flow.
Once you've got your letters and numbers down, you need pronouns, so you don't sound like a robot. Subject pronouns do the action, object pronouns receive it, but the real game changers are possessive adjectives and possessive pronouns. We use these all the time to avoid awkwardly repeating someone's name over and over when we're talking about who owns what. Take a look at this everyday example. Is this your bike? No, that one's mine. The blue ones are hers. See how the possessive adjective, your, sits right before the noun bike, but the possessive pronouns mine and hers? They stand completely on their own. They replace the entire noun phrase. It just makes your spoken English so much punchier. Moving right along to family ties and professions, your inner circle.
Now that you can talk about yourself, it's time to talk about your people. Family basically falls into 2 groups: your nuclear family, parents, spouses, siblings, and kids, and your extended family, which is your grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins. And this is exactly where those possessives we just learned come in handy. Instead of saying something clunky like the sister of my father, you just say my father's sister. Simple, right?
And we also want to talk about what these family members do all day. Let's look at Sophie. We can describe her job by saying Sophie works as a travel writer. Or we can just use the verb to be and say Sophie is a travel writer. It's a really great way to practice connecting nouns and verbs to describe people's daily lives. Which brings us beautifully to routines and time, finding your place in the world. When it comes to talking about your daily routine, the present simple tense is your best friend. It's the go-to tool for everyday actions, daily habits, and permanent states. You just pair it with frequency words like usually or often. For example, saying, I usually get up at 7 o'clock, or we always go on holiday in the summer. Speaking of 7 o'clock, telling time is a massive part of this. To keep it easy, just break the clock down into 4 linguistic milestones. When the minute hand is at the top, it's a new hour, o'clock. Then we hit quarter past, half past, and quarter to. Seriously, once you have those 4 locked in, you can navigate practically any schedule. And let's be real,
Telling time is mostly about making plans with friends. So knowing these casual time-of-day milestones is a huge conversational boost. Understanding the boundaries between morning, afternoon, evening, and night is key. If a friend texts, "Dinner this evening will be at 6," you know exactly where to be and when.
All right, we made it to the last section, the final challenge, putting it all together.
I really want you to take a second and just appreciate the sheer cognitive load you've managed over these past 3 weeks. You went from basic letters and numbers 1 to 100, all the way to mapping out family trees, defining jobs, and describing full daily routines. And the most important thing to remember, grammar rules, suffixes, tenses, they're not just academic exercises. They are literal tools for human connection.
So I'm going to leave you with one final friendly challenge today. Take a quick look at the clock. Think about your day. I want you to actively apply what you've learned, right now. What time is it right this second, and what is your routine? Use those numbers, try out some pronouns, and use the present simple tense. Keep practicing, keep connecting, and I absolutely cannot wait to see you in the next explainer.